Well, very few people have arrived here for tonight's watch party, but of course, as you said, once the polls close, we can expect to start see people coming in to watch those results come in. Of course, in a deeply red state, Democrats know they face an uphill battle to win a major victory. The party chairman tells us he's optimistic they may be able to pull off a surprise win in the U.S. Senate seat. Now, veteran Ty Pinkins taking on longtime incumbent GOP incumbent Senator Roger Wicker. Pinkins, who spent 2 decades in the military, has attacked Wicker for lacking personal courage and for violating his oath of office for Wicker's ongoing support for former President Donald Trump. Wicker says he believes Trump will win a close victory, and he believes it's in Mississippi's best interest for Republicans to remain in charge or to be in charge in Washington, D.C. Democrats say there's also a lot of attention on the battle for the Central District seat on the state Supreme Court. They accuse Republicans of injecting partisan politics in what's supposed to be a nonpartisan race by endorsing one of incumbent Jim Kitchen's opponents. Democrats say turnout across the state could exceed the governor's race from a year ago when more than 800,000 Mississippians came out to the polls. They say it could be a long night before all the results come in.
This is going to be one of those elections that tooth and nail, people are going to claw over votes. I don't expect an early night. If it happens, great. But we're prepared for this thing to go in the wee hours and possibly another day or so.
And of course, we will be here all night watching the results come in as those votes are counted, and we're hoping it won't be as long as the party chairman is predicting. For now, we're live in Jackson. Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
Ross, we are all hoping that. All right, thanks. Well, both political parties in Mississippi are going to have watch parties tonight with increased security.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on both of those parties. We're inside both of them tonight. 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons live from the Republican watch party at the Westin in downtown Jackson tonight. Scott, how are things going there?
Yeah, most of the setup is in place, as well as security here as the Republican Party prepares to take in the returns from those polls when they close at 7 p.m. Earlier today over at GOP headquarters, though, staffers were working the phones, calling all the way from North Mississippi down to the coast, checking on things like polling locations, reported problems, and turnout numbers. And for incumbent U.S. Senator Roger Wicker, who has held this office since 2007, he told me that he does have immigration issues as a top list item if reelected, and that's something he plans to deal with when this election's over.
I want to help whoever is president close the border down, return to this remain in Mexico policy that we had during the Trump administration. If someone came asking for asylum, we actually got the socialist government of Mexico to agree they would keep those applicants in Mexico until we have time to look at it. I think we'll return to that if we have a change in Washington.
Wicker voted absentee a couple weeks ago in the Tupelo area. Earlier today, he did some polling and campaign work in the Florence area. He is here now on site, as well as other Republican candidates who will be taking in the returns here as the party gathers, hoping to closely watch this election and hopefully walk away with more victories. We're live tonight at the Westin. Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
All right, Scott, thanks. Well, Ty Pinkins will not be with other state Democrats to watch the result come in from his race against Senator Roger Wicker tonight. No,
he plans to go home tonight. He'll be back in his hometown of Rolling Fork this evening. Pinkins is an Army veteran and an attorney. You may remember he ran for Secretary of State last year after another candidate dropped out of that race in the 11th hour. Pinkins says, though, he's been eyeing this Senate seat for more than a year now. Pinkins has been up all day. He told us eager for the results of the race to come in. He says if he wins, he's excited to serve Mississippians.
We all are anxious about what's going to happen at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, late tonight, tomorrow morning for the presidency, but also here in Mississippi in the Senate race. And we just have to wait and see. My team and I, we worked hard over the last 22 months. We've been to all 82 counties talking to voters, but more importantly, listening to voters about what's important to them. And we're going to see how it's going to work out later today or tonight.